Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kayla. And as you can see, this episode of Smoke Break looks, feels, and sounds a little bit different than usual. Due to the soaring cases of COVID, we did a remote interview to keep and make sure that everyone was safe.
Hello, my name is Niecey Freeman. I am a certified life coach, owner of NFLLC. I'm a published author of the Get Your Shit Together workbook. I am also the Director of Learning and Development for a BPO here in Cincinnati. I've been in the customer service field since 2011, and I've also served in the Army. This is going to sound really bad. I started smoking at 11 years old. And, back then it wasn't like I could just go buy a pack. So it was like every time I got the chance, I was smoking. I've quit. I have 3 kids. So here's how I tell this story. This is my 4th time quitting. I've quit 3 other times when I was pregnant for 9 months each. So I know that I could have quit because I had a reason to. And I wasn't tying it into a reason anymore, so I just kept smoking because I'm stressed. I need to smoke. I quit in April of last year. Trying to quit smoking, it happens in stages. And usually for someone to ultimately quit, it has to be at what I'm considering, and I found it somewhere, and I'm not giving an appropriate resource. I'm apologizing for that. It's to do something important. It has to be either to prevent pain or to attain pleasure. So if someone's smoking, if they're smoking to get that pleasure from smoking, you have to change it into a source of pain. So if smoking is causing you to have health issues, if someone that you know or someone close to you passed away from as a result of smoking, those are some things that you have to tie it to an emotion in order to quit. In most cases, just saying, I'm going to quit tomorrow, that can help for some folks. But usually it's about tying it to another part of your goal. So if your goal is to be healthy, if your goal is to retire at 65, then you need to attach quitting smoking to that goal. It all started back in 2012. In 2012, that's where I kind of hit rock bottom. I didn't have any money. At that time where I was living, my refrigerator stopped working. So all my food spoiled. I was down to... and I call this my infamous can of corn story. I tell it to every single training class. So I was down to one last can of corn that I had to split between myself and my 3 kids. And my breaking point really is because I didn't have any salt left. So I was devastated. So that's really where all of this got started. I was losing hope. Like I said, I went to this financial workshop at the library downtown with Delshawn Hayes, and she said in that meeting, in that briefing, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. And it was like it was like that same month, basically. I got my LLC. I started getting certified as a life coach. I set up my website, and then I started taking appointments. So that's how I got started. Quit culture is needed because someone has to step up and say, we need to discontinue these habits that are killing us. And it helps if you're hearing that from someone with a similar background or a similar culture background than you have. Someone who is like you, telling you it's time for you to do better. Because sometimes we feel other folks could do it, but yeah, they're talking at me. But if you have someone like you saying, no, this is actually a bad thing, and we need to take steps to discontinue these terrible habits that we have, that's why I feel quit culture is needed. And in most cases, it's a mindset change that has to happen. So it's not really, you're not satisfied with your life because you don't have enough money, or, your relationships are struggling. It's mostly due to your mindset is saying, I'm supposed to be here and I'm not here, so I'm sad because of that. Instead of stopping to smell the roses every now and then and acknowledge that, okay, you're not where you want to be, but sometimes you need to stop and enjoy what you have now. It only really takes one open mind to stop that. And that's something that I do like to talk to my clients about. An example of this would be having that stigma or this roadblock, and it's hard to narrow down to get to the root of this issue. But there's a stigma that only certain types of people can make it to the top. And it serves as a mental block really in our community, and it's painful to see, because a lot of folks, they don't know why they feel that way. People like us don't get there. So then you have to show, like, actually, people like us do get there. Really, all you have to do is discontinue dreaming about it and actually start working towards it. In order to achieve your goals, if your goal is to quit smoking, that is your why now. Tie your why into your overall goal. Like I said, but in order to achieve your goals, your why has to be greater than anything else going on in that moment. So if you think about every single moment of your life, if you have a pack of cigarettes sitting in front of you and you're tempted to just grab one and smoke it, you have to recall what your why is. If your why is to lead a healthier life, if your why is to retire at 65, whatever your why is, tie that right back into your goal and make a decision at that point. Your why has to be greater than anything else happening in that moment. So my slogan is, your why has to be greater than your right now.